Wow. Alright.
Tohloo,
Yep.
ready.
Alright. Put me on the stream. Do it.
You are.
Oh. Well, okay. Why didn't you just say that? Okay.
I said, you can feel free to move over to the live channel.
Oh, I didn't hear that at all. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, hello. I don't understand how the internet works. Anyway. Whenever you want me to do a countdown, I'm ready.
I believe we are.
Alright, cool. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. This is Super Time Force Ultra, the best video game of all time, released in 2014 for a personal computer. And the main mechanic in this game is that you can rewind pretty much anytime you want. However, I'm gonna try to actually avoid that as much as possible. This is a New Game Plus category, so right off the bat, I have access to a lot of different characters that I usually would not have access to. Like Zoe, which is the one I'm playing with right now. This is Zoe from Left 4 Dead. This is a Steam exclusive character. Like you just saw, I used a canister to propel myself, or get like a canister boost, I guess you could call it, and jump over to that ledge. It also does a bunch of damage. And right here you're gonna see me do a weird sort of setup. So I'm gonna kill myself intentionally, and then I'm gonna rewind. And then, not gonna do that, I spawned as the wrong character. Alright. So I just stopped Da Vinci from dying, which means I collect him as a power-up. Which means I have his charge ability, and his charge ability is that he can spawn a little turret thing. Jeff is my main character right now, and his charge attack is that he can do rocket attacks. Also, I'm just gonna skip this boss because he's lame. For some reason, when you do a damage boost like on that boss, you can just clip through the door there and just end the stage, which is pretty neat. So right now I am the Looker. This is the last character that you would normally unlock in this game, and he is super insanely powerful. His regular attack is that he shoots this like small laser which drops a reticule, and his charge attack is that he releases a bunch of lasers at all the reticules. That was not supposed to happen, but that's okay. I can just finish him off real quick. Alright, so this is a boss rush sort of stage, where I fight everyone's favorite boss, Skull Guy, and a bunch of babies. Oh dear, okay, that's actually not bad. I can use this to my advantage. So now I have the Looker as a power-up, and he's probably like one of the best ones to have, because whenever I do my charge attack, he automatically releases 5 lasers, which just does a wow. What? Okay, that was weird. That was not supposed to happen. I got robbed. I honestly have no idea why I got hit by that block, since I was on the platform. But anyway. This boss can spawn explosive blocks, which is really nice because they can actually do damage to him as long as they explode right next to him, but they're pretty much entirely random. So you can either kill this boss like 5 or around 5 seconds faster or slower depending. Also, this game is pretty cool in terms of plot. Right now I'm going to medieval times to get the Holy Grail so that I can eBay it for like a bunch of money. So that I could bail out a local medieval themed party store of some sort. It's a pretty good use of time travel. So right now I'm playing as Shieldy, and he could bounce on enemies and slide through these doors if I angle myself correctly, which is pretty nice. But the real reason I want to use him is for this trick. So I'm gonna bounce on this boss, bounce on his grenades, bounce on those guys, and then just go over the invisible wall past the end trigger of the stage. So this is kind of an escort mission, but not really. I have to make sure this missile reaches the end of the stage. Except I don't, because I can do a very similar trick to what I did in the last stage. Oh dear, that's not good. I really need to save Zoe here, because otherwise I'm gonna have a bad time. I pretty much need Zoe for the last trick in this stage. Alright, so now I'm gonna switch to an Ultra character. Whoops. Alright. And Ultra characters have bigger bullets, and they do more damage. But they also self-destruct after about 10 seconds. So, optimally, I will try to only use them at the end of the stage. And I use the Ultra Zoe there because you get more height from the canister explosion. So this is Da Vinci. I just spawned 2 platforms on top of each other, and that makes it so that you can clip through very thin walls for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why it works. Oh, by the way, this is Saxton Hale. When you're on a jetpack, if you punch, you actually get a little bit of vertical distance, which is pretty neat. And yeah, I'm just gonna float here for a while. Look at the rainbow. That's all that you will see of Saxton Hale, unfortunately. For most bosses in this game, I will be using the Looker, just because he does so much damage on his own. Alright. Doing pretty okay right now. Let me do... The stage order doesn't really matter since this is New Game Plus, and I already have all the characters I want. No, all hits in this run will not be intentional. Probably. So, the reason I want to use Jeff on the stage is mainly because of this middle section I can just do a rocket jump over. Jeff is one of the most versatile characters in this game just because his rockets do good damage, they can kill most enemies in one hit. And his rocket jump is just really good. So here I'm gonna use Ultra Looker, which does even more damage than the regular Looker. I can pretty much just kill any boss under 10 seconds by using that character. Oh yeah, this is a prize game. I forgot about that. So this rocket jump can be a bit okay. If you miss that, it's pretty bad. Oh god. Oh, good lord. I'm gonna abandon Jeff for now. Just saving him is gonna take too much time. Oh, good lord. Yeah, losing a character like Jeff on this stage is very detrimental. So what I just collected there is called a Glorb. And that gives me an extra rewind in the stage, but it's completely useless pretty much to speedrunners. You start out with 30 rewinds, so it's more than enough for speedrunning. Good lord. God. I lied about Saxton Hale being never used again. That boss was pretty much dead, so I just wanted to spawn as any other character, really. Alright. So time for Shieldy again. So right there I bounced on the bullets, and I have to do that like right before my shield is fully charged, or otherwise I just go through the bullets instead. And sometimes, even if you time it correctly, it doesn't really work. It's a pretty finicky trick. Unfortunately I just died, but it's not a huge deal. I can still get to the end of the stage here and get a pretty good time. Oh yeah, so I should probably explain. This is a detail I forgot to explain, but every time I am playing super hardcore mode, so every time you die as one character, you cannot spawn as that one character unless you save him. But that's only in super hardcore mode. The regular game, you can spawn as any character anytime you want. So I'm still going to be using a similar combo I used earlier, where my main character is Zoe and my secondary is the Looker. And this is probably like the most highest damage combo you could have. And the reason I want so much damage is for this boss. Oh dear, okay, well... Let me use Ultra Looker instead. That was not supposed to happen. Oh dude, I forgot to explain the plot as to why I went back to the 90s. So our commander had a child with, I believe it was Cleopatra, and he dropped her child in the 90s for some reason. Also, the 90s are apparently in the apocalypse times for some reason. And I don't know, he's a pretty bad father in my opinion. I don't know what he's thinking. So hopefully I can get this, but if I do this canister jump just right... No, no, dude. Damn it. That's a shame. I can actually skip this cutscene by doing a well-timed canister jump, but it's really hard. And that trick saves like a good 30 seconds at least. At least you get to see this guy just shoot himself in the face. That's pretty good. So, I want to do a setup here so that I can... This is another stage where I want to be powered up so that I can skip over this section of the stage right here, go on the rooftops. And then I can damage boost into the boss and just skip through him, basically. Like that. So for this boss, you just have to hit his red parts in order to expose the center and actually do damage to him. I'm gonna actually refight this same sort of boss later on. So what do I have left? I have, I believe, Atlantis and Dino World. So the reason I'm going to Atlantis is so that I can save Atlantis from ever sinking into the bottom of the ocean. So that I could turn it into the 51st state of the United States of America. And turn it into the most lit paradise spot the world has ever seen. Oh, by the way, every time you jump in this game, you actually get a little bit of a slight bit of a speed boost. And, oh dear, okay. There's a cycle there that you can't actually make if you don't jump like at least 10 times or so. So there I strategically placed some canisters so that I could blow them up as soon as the... Oh dear, that was not very smart. So that I could blow them up so they wiped out as many enemies as they spawned. So here I'm going to use a character called Cleo. And Cleo can spawn boomerangs around her, which will make a certain section in the stage like a lot easier than it is with any other character. Also, when you have max boomerangs and you shoot something, it does a lot of good damage. Oh dear. Also, when I get to the end of the stage, I'll actually have to wait for a little bit. And that's because there's a collectible in my way, and if I get this collectible, I have to sort of go through like a 3-second cutscene or so, so I'm just gonna wait here a little bit. Alright. So once again, I'm gonna use Ultra Looker to kill this boss. Goodbye, Squid. So this is another stage that I pretty much skip entirely because of DaVinci. I'm gonna be using same sort of thing I used earlier. I try to stack two turrets on top of each other so that I can flip downwards. This one should work. No. This one is really finicky. Alright. Okay, there you go. And I have to spawn two turrets here because there's an invisible ceiling. Alright, I should be good. Alright, cool. This is Rick. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I messed up that bad. Okay. Can I actually spawn as the right character? Alright, cool. So I'm gonna sit here and just throw canisters at the ground. And that's a setup to do a bunch of damage to the boss. More than usual, so that I could skip his third phase. So if I'm lucky here, I should be able to just kill him. Alright, cool, I got it. Oh no, I skipped the cutscene, damn it. I should have left that played out, but damn it. He was gonna eat a giant sub, and that's a really good cutscene, but whatever. Doesn't matter. But yeah, that Atlantis god's name is Rick. Or at least, I believe his name was Rick in the first version of this game, and then they changed it for some reason, which is an unwise decision in my opinion. Because Rick is a fantastic name for an Atlantis god, in my opinion. This is Zachosaurus, and I'm not gonna save him because I'm a terrible person. He is the coolest, raddest character in this game, but unfortunately, he doesn't really do anything in the speedrun setting. So here I'm actually looking down, so that when I get up here, these robots actually react late. If you don't do that, they'll actually start shooting like as soon as you get in front of them, which is pretty bad. Alright, cool. So here I'm gonna jump to the edge of this platform and then just jump to the right. Normally, when you would reach the top of that platform, like right next to the vine, you'll enter this small cutscene where you put a jetpack on and whatever. But you can just end the stage by jumping to the edge of that platform and just doing a rocket jump, which is pretty nice. Oh, by the way, the reason I'm in dinosaur times is because I want to save the dinosaurs and then integrate them into society. Because dinosaurs are really cool. I mean, who can argue with that, to be honest? Like, you just can't. Alright, I'm on a pterodactyl with a jetpack right now, and I'm fighting the blimp guy. This guy isn't too hard. It's just annoying because you can't really skip any of his phases. You just have to go through them. Oh dear. Alright, so now I'm gonna be entering the very last world in this game. And then the world blows up because you did a bunch of dumb things to it. So now this is a refight of, this would normally be the first boss in the game. But I did it like, I think, second or third. In this category, you don't, like, stage order doesn't really influence the time very much, other than menuing through the stages. So it's kind of whatever. Alright, he did. And this next stage is an escape sequence, because every good game has an escape sequence. And I'm gonna be using a character that I never used before. She's called Amy. Or, no, actually I did use it before, never mind. But this time it's actually on purpose. So Amy has a charge shot that goes through walls. And I also get distance from it, from the recoil of the sniper shot. Which is really useful on this stage, because the first couple of platforms are not actually solid, so you can't rocket jump on the platforms. Also, the fact that her shot goes through walls is very useful, especially in this section. So I only have to climb halfway of these, half of these vertical sections, instead of going to the very top to trigger these red switches. Alright, it's time for the very last boss. I'm gonna be using the same combo I used a little bit earlier. Just gonna set this up. Oh, damn. Wow, why am I missing these? Oh god, no, 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 no! I'm gonna have to set something up. Oh man, I don't know what to do. I really need more damage for... Okay, maybe I could do this. Yeah, this will work. Okay, I should have done this earlier. Unfortunately, I got hit, which means I lost the liquor, which means I lose like most of my damage input. Or output, rather. Time is soon, by the way. Alright, get ready on time. Time. What was my time? I don't know if you're trying to talk to me right now or not. I seem to be having issues with... Hold on, I'll be right back. Oh wait, no. Someone fell asleep. No one's at the wheel. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the run. This is the first game I ever speedran, and it really is an incredible game on all fronts.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tohloo, for your run.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Did we get any donations during that?
We did not get any donations during that, but
Dang.
it's alright. Hey, it's been kind of a slow day, but it's to be expected. Every marathon has their slow moments, but that doesn't change the fact that we've still raised $1,200 in about 24 hours of the marathon, so I'm happy with that. A little over 24 hours now, actually.
If I may plug something, if you wanna donate, there is a bid war between a Shovel Knight run or a Plague run, I believe on Saturday. And right now, Plague is at 200. That's my run. And I think, you know, like, I think a little bit more competition should be on that bid for.
I agree. Muncha deserves a shot.
Yes.
In the case of if Plague Knight wins, Tohloo will run the game. If Shovel Knight wins, Muncha Koopas will play. So let's keep it interesting.
Also, I would like the reason it's so far ahead is because Peanuts donated like $200 for Plague Knight. He's an absolute madman.
Yeah. Anyways, it looks like we're ready to switch on over to the next run. We're gonna run a quick 60-second ad and set everything up. During that, the stream will be going down. We're switching restreamers, folks, so do not panic.
Alright, cool. Do you want me to stop the stream or just let it play out?
This is good for now.
Alright.